Test, test. Come on, come on. There we go. I am now live. All right, everyone, welcome. Another live stream, PincheAl's Garage. Now we're working on subwoofers and a sub box. This is a crucial moment in life. If you guys can see the interior, it's done. Pretty much door panels, all done and repaired. Speakers, all sound dampened, installed, rewired, everything completely rewired inside and out. Fixed the fuse box, the battery fuse box on top, rerouted all that, upgraded the big three, alternator, ground, battery, and starter wiring, all upgraded to 0 gauge. That's all done. Next step is building the subwoofer box. And the box that we have to build has to be a sealed box for the subwoofers that we're going to be using. These subwoofers were purchased by one of my really good friends, Steve Andrews. And I look up to this guy still to this very date. He helped me with a lot of advice for building a really cool stereo system. He actually helped me build my box, my 410 box. I was going to go 412s, but I want to go more minimalist in my car. Less bass, more clarity. So the idea is to have a really good like sub, presence. I was gonna go with your more typical common subwoofers that everybody rocks, either CT or NVX or even Scar Audio. Those are really good SPL subwoofers. In other words, super loud, tons of bass. The downside with going with those subs, they're SPL subs. They're not accurate. They're more designed for loudness. You build them on a ported box. You pretty much just go for as many high decibels you can humanly create. I still have a batch of my Funkin' Audio solid cone subwoofers. Now these subs are designed to be in a sealed box because they provide accurate bass response. The reason behind that, I prefer clarity and like studio sound, like not studio, but like just clear, good music. And anything I play sounds fantastic. And that's kind of like the idea why I'm building this system. It's still going to be freaking nutty loud, don't get me wrong, but you will be able to hear it down the block clear. That's the entire reason why I've been going this deep into my sound system and building it. So first we got to design a box, and we got a couple options. Currently, my interior. Oh, I got to turn on the light. Give me a second. Looks like that. It's done. The amp setup is not that. That's my previous setup and how we had it before. We're changing all of that. I just want to go with a new design. I want to put my subs right where my amps are. So the goal or the idea is to scratch that. And then now we have to work with dimensions because I don't want to block my rear speakers. I have to really think about how I design my sub box for 12s. I have 10s I can put in here. I can do 2 10s, but 2 12s will be louder and cleaner. Well, not cleaner. They'll be louder, but not cleaner. However, it will sound super good. Now we're going to be using these right here. These are called Funkin' Audio. All right. This thing weighs, what does this thing weigh? get a weight here. One of these is 18.6 pounds. So almost 20 pounds for this one sub. Okay. Full on stamped steel basket, 100-ounce magnet, solid front facing cone. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's a solid cone. So because it has a solid dust cap, this doesn't have as much excursion. So in other words, it doesn't go up and down so much because it's all about accuracy and sound. I was gonna rock I have my Solo Barracks. I got a set of Solo Barrack, I think L7s. I got 2 sets of the 12s. I have 2 sets of the Comp Rs. I have a set of 4 Funkin Audio 10s or 4 Funkin Audio 12s. I was really wanting to go to 4 12s. I'm still thinking about it, but I have to deal with my speaker volume. Since I'm going sealed, I only need 1 cubic foot, about a cubic foot to 1.2 cubic feet of space for this sub to perform its best. I could use a little bit of polyfill and go down to 1 cubic feet and just put a little bit of polyfill to help it out. Or I can just stick with just a cubic foot and then design a box. The only downside is if I go to 4 12s, it's literally just almost 100 pounds in just subs, not including about 100 plus pounds in a box, not including the floor, not including the false rear deck lid. So I'm going to be adding anywhere from 150 to 220, almost 250 pounds of just wood. I really got to be careful on all that mass on the back end of my car. And obviously got to be safe about it so it doesn't like flip over and hit me. So there's a lot of things I have to be careful with when I'm doing this design. That's why 2 12s seems a lot better than 4 12s. But 4 12s, like, bro, 4 12s are always better than 1 or 2. Like, you know, having more is always better, right? All right, so now that you guys see that, we're going to go and do a little thing here. So we're going to do a calculator. This calculator is fantastic if you want to do any type of box building. I would love a wedge style box, but I don't like how much space you lose on a basic wedge box. So I'm probably going to go with this style box here. Come on. Make sure I can see the comments if anything comes in. Hopefully you guys can read this. Okay. So I have in my trunk, I have about, let me go do a quick measurement on width. I believe it was like 27 inches. So for 2 12s, I can use oh yeah, it was 49 inches is what I can do safely if I go edge to edge. But the problem with that is that I'm going to be hitting other areas. But if I cut the wood out dimensionally, like 17, 18. So let's assume I'm going to go to the least widest part because that's probably what's going to happen. I got about 44 and 18 inches. $19. So 44 and 19. It's about what I got without having any problems. So 44 inches and 19. Height, no big deal. So I like this style subwoofer box. And this is per sub. Now, I can face them against each other and have them angled. The nice thing about that, if I go that route, my speakers and the rear speakers don't get blocked. So that's kind of a plus. The other option is, again, I have 44 and 19. Height doesn't matter, and I got all the height in the world. If we do that, let's do a wedge, okay? So if we have 44, we're using 3/4 inch MDF, so that's 0.75 already right off the bat. Okay, so we're losing a lot of space right after that. Width, we have, remember, all the way across 44, cut that in half. We have 22. If we want to use 22, I would say go to 20 just to be safe, because that way we can build out, because we're going to be building inside. Now it depends on how you build your box. If you build your box with the wood on top of the base or around the base, that's what's going to change a lot drastically. Because if you build on top, that means the dimensional volume shrinks 3/4 inches all around. If you build outside, then it's accurate volume. So you really have to think about that information as well. Height, so there's height number 1, which is the entirety of the back. The subwoofer height here, we got to factor in mounting depth, just so you guys know. And that's super crucial. I mean, mounting depth is about, I'd say 6.5. I mean, yeah, 6.5 is about mounting depth for this sub. So we're gonna go what? How high? It depends. Let's see. Let's do a height 2 at 4 inches. Depth, I have 19. Let's try to do 12. And we're gonna go height all the way up the back end. We can do, let's try, because the face, the width, we gotta figure out the width. Oh, 20 inches, which is perfect for the subwoofer, but the height has to match, so I probably end up doing 20 inches as well. If we calculate that volume, it's probably a big ass box. Yeah, it's 1.1 cubic feet. That's pretty much perfect. That is the perfect box for this sub. The issue is, the nice thing is, it's going to give you the mounting depth that you're going to need at that angle. It's a 45 degree when you cut that. So when you mount with the face angled like that, you got to cut it at 45 right at the edge to screw everything together. Or you put the wood over and then you just sand the top down and round it off. Depending on how you want to go for it, everybody's got their different cup of tea and how they do this. This will fit perfectly. Will fit perfectly and beautifully in the spot that I want. I have to make two of those boxes if I do it this route, which will work perfect. Now, it will sound best in a square. So if we did a square sub box, if we do width 20, height, height I probably would do 12. I wouldn't even go that high. Depth, I'd probably do 12 as well, and thickness 0.75. That still gives me 1.1 cubic feet of airspace. That's perfect. That's more than enough volume for any sub. And then what we would do is we just double that, and then we will put a divider right in the middle inside the box, and then build your 212 box light just like that. And then obviously center it, and you're done. You got a beautifully done, just simple rectangle that goes right in the back of your box. Building a box runs about, wood is $48. Glue and screws was like $12. And obviously if you have the drill and a skill saw at least, or a table saw, If you already had the table saw or the skill saw, you're looking at $50 of building your box. I mean, $60 building your box. Buying a pre-made box usually runs 120 to about $200 for a good box that's properly, um, rounded, properly ported. If you're gonna do ported or sealed, I kind of want to do short and wide, keeping the back end of my trunk more open. This will allow me to put more stuff in the trunk because my amps are going to mount not on the box, but I'm going to build a beauty plate in front of the box where all the wiring is going to hide behind, and my amps are going to sit in front of it floating. It's going to be a pretty neat design that I'm going to do with this subwoofer setup. So now, since we're running 212s and both are dual 4 ohms, so all we have to do, we have to run them in parallel. So 4, 4, and it's going to be run. But these are single 4 ohm. So technically, each sub I can run at 2 ohm right off the amp, or I can run two subs at 1 ohms if I wire them together in parallel and get is it parallel? Yeah, I think no. If I wire in parallel, no, I would wire them in series to get 2 ohm. No, 1 ohm. My amps do support a 1 ohm load. They're pretty much 1 ohm stable, so I can do 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 4 ohm, and 8 ohm. My 4-channel is 100% 2 ohm stable, which is what my components run on. So we're going to be using that for my 4-channel. So I just want to give you guys that. So what we're going to do is pretty much measure out our wood so we can get all the wood that we need and design it all pretty much so we can build it back there. My whole thing is, if you guys can see on the back rear speaker, you'll see how like it kind of curves. I'm going to have to make that. I'm going to have to draw that out, or we can just build it out to frame the floor, the back rear end. It depends on how we want to go about this. This is where it gets more complicated on how we do this, because we can either make it really clean by matching all the wood, all the contour of the back end, or we do a very, very simple and we just frame it out as a square, and then we'll sand the corners a little bit just to give it a little bit of roundness, because to give it that really nice, clean, like 45-degree curve, it's not easy, but it's 100% doable. It just depends on how we're going to do this setup. So I'm really, really trying to figure out, what do you guys think? Since I'm on right now, it's only 5 p.m. on the West Coast, so a lot of people are just getting home. Everybody else is probably having dinner. I know I started way too early. I typically started around 8 o'clock my time, so it's 6 o'clock on the West Coast. So I'm a little off. I'm a little early for most people. But you guys tell me, what do you guys think? The interior, the headliner is all going to change. I'm not going to be yanking that out actually pretty soon. But if you guys have any ideas or thoughts on how we want to go about this, please give me your 2 cents. I am extremely curious on what you guys think. My goal is to put my amps and my subs literally the entire rear seat. No more than that. I'm going to order a seamless tank for my air suspension, and that's going to sit right in front of that. And that's it. The rest of the entire setup is going to be all hidden underneath the floor because I want a functional trunk. I want to use my trunk for just to put stuff in there. And again, it's a car, so I need to be able to use it as a car on top of it, just enjoying it as, race car stuff and just fun. So, any questions or any ideas on what should I do? Should I do 212s? Should I go 412s? Should I use the entirety of the back seat for subs, or should I just go halvesies on it and then build out further for more aesthetics? Again, not a show car. All my cars are never been show cars. They've been my cars. Very, very different for you guys to understand that. Hey, what's going on, Geo Flockley? Oh, Jeff. That's Jeff. I remember you now, buddy. What's going on? Um, I remember your name now. Sorry. I know it's Jeff. What 12s? You're just joining in. Here, let me grab one. Here we go. These are Funkin' Audio. It's for your Funkin' car. These are not SPL subs, just so you know. If you ever heard of Funkin' Audio, these are bass accurate subs. These don't make loud bass. They make accurate bass. So they do not go imported boxes. They go in sealed boxes. There is a difference. These subs do not make SPL, in other words, super loud bass, right? A lot of super loud bass is very muddy, inaccurate. It's just loud. What is the FS? What do you mean FS? X-Max? What is the X-Max? What do you mean the X-Max? Like the watts? Like what's the wattage on this sub? Oh, free air residence? I don't know. This company went out of business and there's no specs online. These are actually, I got these off of a friend. So these, the box doesn't even have anything. There's no manual, no nothing, no spec sheet. So it's hard to get any information. The company kind of, again, they didn't go to audio. They didn't do, how do you say, they didn't build subs for being loud. They build subs for accuracy. So there's not much besides it's a dual 4-ohm, 12-inch sub, glass fiber honeycomb, dual 3-inch voice coils at 4-ohm, 100-ounce magnet, 30 to 2500 hertz. Again, this sub can do 30 hertz. Okay, so Jeff, these subs do not go imported boxes, period. They're not designed for it. They don't like it. They don't like having a lot of movement. I hope you know, hope you understand that this is not a SPL sub. It is a, it's an actual like audio bass accurate sub. They went under because no one wants that. Everybody wants loud versus, you know, clarity. I prefer clarity over loud because a lot of the music I listen to. Okay, cool. So these, again, these have very little movement. Look, they probably do maybe an inch of excursion, like most of that. Like they don't move very much. They're solid. If you can hear that, I don't know if you can hear that. Watch. It's a solid cone or dust cap. There's still a cone obviously in there, but it's a solid dust cap. These guys, again, don't move very much. I said 3. I mean, it might move 3 inches, maybe, but yeah, these guys are super solid. I had 410s in my GTI, so that was my last setup in here, and it wasn't loud. It was just clean. It was super clean. Again, but it was a loud, clean bass. You felt it more than you heard it. My buddy and I built a box, and we did. Oh, okay, yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah, 1.5 each direction, up and down. So, but me and my buddy, we built a really good box, and it was just good. It was super good. Yeah, they're very tight. They have very minimal movement because they're not meant to go really high and get loud. They're more to be very accurate, very, very accurate. So when we mounted my tens, they sound amazing. Like I was just like, whoa, this is just it just sounds so good. And I had four tens. We're gonna do an MDF box. I can't find a good 3/4 inch cedar birch, um, like locally. Everybody has a 1/2 inch birch plywood, and I love birch plywood, but not a good like cedar birch or the I forgot the other type of birch that people use for boxes. It's just they don't have it out here. So I have to drive out pretty far to go pick up some good wood. So I'm just gonna go 3/4 inch MDF. My goal is simple box, nothing crazy. It's just a really nice rectangle with a carpet. We're gonna build. We're gonna do, what is it? I just forgot, 44 inches of width, and I have 19 inches of depth. So I can pretty much make the perfect box. Use 2 3/4 inch on the baffle side. Okay. So just sandwich it and less vibration. I like that idea. Okay. Stack them. Gotcha. Yeah. Keep the, oh, you're talking about the top side, because I'm going to build the box facing straight up and down. Gotcha. Yeah, because I want to build the box straight up and down, not facing forward and back. So I want them straight up and down. Okay. So stack the 3/4 inch on top. That'll give me even more. That'll give me another 3/4 inches of surface of volume. So I could probably go shorter on the box. Yeah, because I was thinking about going 12 inches high, 20 deep, and pretty much 40 wide. That's about my size. That gave me 1.1 cubic feet of volume, which is more than enough. Yeah. Oh, I know. 212s is always more than enough sound. But again, that would be if I had SPL subs versus accurate subs, right? You know, because two different worlds of subs, and these subs, no one's even heard of them. And you know, I definitely have very good mids, so I'm not really concerned. So my setup, I run a set of Infinity Kappas front and rear. They're getting all 100 watts at 2 ohms, all 4 speakers with my Kicker KX amp, and that one's a really good full range amp. And the crossovers are set to just flat. I usually listen to everything flat, and then I bypass my deck to go to my amp and let my amp do all the sound processing. Um, Pretty much, what is it? I just did the doors. So the front and rear doors the front doors just got all sound dampening, all upgraded. I just did a speaker foam surround for the, I will use a DSP soon. That's going to be my next part of the project. I just have to figure out where to place it in my car. DSPs are going to use, I mean, even though some of them are small, I'm going to be using I forgot the name, something stereo sound, I believe, or I forgot what it was called. But yes, I will be using a DSP next. I definitely want a DSP, especially because a lot of the music I listen to is on FLAC. So I use FLAC files 90% of the time. If I don't have FLAC, audio control, that's right. That's the brand. Yeah, I want an audio control DSP. But I want to use most of my audio. I listen to either FLAC, Wave. So I do raw CD rips or FLAC. Very, very rare. I'll do 328-bit MP3s. I tend to use FLAC and Wave audio just because I want raw audio, because I love clarity and I love my sound to just be clean, like super clean. And I don't use a Bluetooth. I don't use anything. I actually use a thumb drive for all my music. I have a 128 gig thumb drive that sits pretty much right in my center console, and that's what I use for all my audio. I do not like, yeah. Okay, no problem, Jeff. Yeah, but I don't like compressed music, or try to stay away from compressed music as much as I can. Is it still clean? Yes, the car is still clean. It just has my tools in there. Jeez, fool. So I was just talking with Jeff, and I agree with him. I had to pull the seats back out. I mounted them just to get a picture of them, you know. But now we have the back end all like lossless versus losses file format. Me, it's all about lossless. I use FLAC or Wave for all my music. So that's the format that I use. So FLAC is pretty much lossless. It's pretty much, there's no compression. It's raw audio. One of my favorite CDs to listen to. Yo, MK4 guy, I got to keep getting a damp floor on my front driver's side. I repaired the sunroof drains and sealed up the hood release grommet area. Any ideas? Yep, I know exactly where your leak is coming from, actually. So when you repaired your sunroof drains, I'll take you to it. I'll take you to exactly what the problem is. Let me show you. So right here, hopefully you can see this, but right here where my finger is, okay? See this grommet right here? This grommet, you need to yank it out and clean it. Your tube mounts into this, so your sunroof drain goes into this. I guarantee you it's probably clogged with debris. A lot of sand gets in here, okay? A lot of debris gets in here. Now, if you didn't clean it, you can backflow it with compressed air and unclog it. But a lot of times if it's clogged here and your tube's up here just right above it, and if you didn't seal it right, it's gonna leak right into here. Another place that it will leak is right here. This rubber grommet here goes into your floor, and it will leak water right there too. Hopefully that helps you. It was upside down, I'm sorry. But hopefully you get the point. Yeah, you have to make sure you back. Just cut the ripple. What ripple, Steve? So remember, when that whole gasket there, 9 out of 10 times, if you go to the back of it, the one that's for the wiring for the door, if you go to the back of it, usually if you didn't pull it and snap it in, it's going to have a little gap and it'll leak water, guaranteed. Now, if you're saying that's done, like you checked it and it's like this is all done, then the next one is that one up there. If you blew that whole hose out, right, and there's nothing in there, and then the tube that connects to that, okay, there's that sunroof drain tube that goes all the way from the top into there. If you do not make that seal tight, it's going to leak. Easiest way to test it, go grab a funnel, take your sunroof cover and all that off, grab a funnel and pour water in there and look for the leak. I guarantee you it's one of those two, or I mean that one leaking from the sunroof or that grommet. Those are the only two places that has water. So If I pour water into my sunroof drain at the top, it pours right out to the door. Correct. But it can still leak. You have to understand that you can have a leak. If that drain pipe that connects to the exterior pipe isn't tight, it can drip right there. It doesn't matter if it's coming still out, it can still drip and cause that problem. So, what I would do, disconnect your battery, number one. While in this process, disconnect your battery, have someone pour water up there really slowly, okay? Put your hand in there and look for the leak. If it's not leaking from there, then it's leaking from the bottom drain. I mean, the bottom grommet. If it's not leaking from there, then it's your windshield. Your windshield has a rubber seal that goes around that whole corner. Okay. The windshield can leak from anywhere in those corners all the way around. Then you're going to have someone over and cut the windshield out, remove all the adhesive, and then reseal that whole window professionally. That's the only places that you can leak water. I don't know anywhere else unless you stabbed a hole somewhere and you pouring water into it. There's nowhere else. Actually, you know what? Hold on. There is actually one more place. I totally forgot about this. So on top of your in front of your windshield, there's the cowl, right? Underneath the geez, where your wiper motor is. So there's a cowl right there. Is it there? Yeah, there's a, hold on. Let me double check. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's a box right there. So hopefully you see that. There's the cowl. See this grommet right here? There's a giant rubber grommet right there. Look around here, look all around here. This is a plastic box that's pretty much what runs your wire loom that goes on top. This is where a lot of your other main fuses sit, your relays and all that for the main harness. They're right here. They go right into this. If you messed with that at all, there's a couple screws that hold this in place. It can leak from here too. There's a gasket all around this. All right. That's the other one. That's the other one I totally forgot about. Yep. No problem, man. Yeah, whenever that corner gets wet, that's it. I mean, I can't think of anything else that you can get water into the car on that side of the car. If you have a sunroof, the drains are the most common, right? Second, it's that stupid little plug where the drain comes out of. They love to clog and build up and then backlog and then just drip into your car. Third is that rubber piece that goes and closes, that runs all your wiring from the door into the car. That's another place where it leaks. Other than that, it's going to be the windshield and that black box. That's it. That's all I can think of for you. So hopefully you can make sense of that, right? So the box I'm going to be building is I'm going to go 20. So 20, what is it? So I have 44. So I'm going to do 40 inches wide. No, 41 inches wide. I'm going to go 41 because I'm going to have to put the center divider inside the box. Correct. You do have to remove the wiper arms. That is very correct. So you have to do 41 inches wide because I have a 3/4 inch piece of wood that's going to go in the middle to build a divide inside of it. And then pretty much I'm going to go 12 inches high. So it's not very high, not a very tall box. Yeah, it's just a little 1-footer. Yeah, that's a nice little short box. That's gonna be nice. No, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. That's what these chats are for. Okay. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask while I'm working. Right now, it's more like brainstorming for tomorrow because I got a lot of wood to cut. So we're gonna go 41, 12 inches on the sides. Again, 41. And we're gonna go, what was the depth? I forgot what depth we said. Do you guys remember the depth? Let's see. 12 inches. So well, we can't go 12. We have to go a little bit further because the sub is 12 inches. Yeah, we can't. We have to go at least, what, 15. Yeah, so I have to go 15. Actually, I got to change that. Didn't even think about that. See, I gotta think. But because we did that, we pretty much almost added so much more volume. So we'll probably cut the height down 2 inches. Let's see. Nope. 9 inches. I can't go any lower, can I? Yep. So we'll go 20 inches wide. I mean, 40 inches wide because we're going to double everything just for the floor. So 41 inches wide. We're going to go 15 inches deep, 9 inches tall. Oh, it's going to be so nice. It's really nice and short. Yeah, it's going to be a really nice short box. Oh, man, this is nothing. It's a really nice short box. Yeah, I'm actually going to like that a lot. Yeah, because I'm not going to need 3 amps. I'm only going to need 2 amps for this scenario instead, because I'm not going to need both amps to power 2 subs. I had the 2 amps, 3 amps, 2 for subs, because I had 4 subs, but I only need 2 subs this time. Yeah, that'd be nice. What if I go... So let's see, what if I go... No, I have to go 41 inches wide. But I lose that. So 40 inches. I have to stick to 9 inches tall. Yeah, that's it. That's how much it's going to be. So I have to go 40 inches wide, 9 inches tall, because the sub is only 7, I think. Yep. Since I'm going to stack the MDF on top, it's going to be perfect. 15 inches deep. So it's a nice thin piece of wood. I mean, it's going to be super easy to make. But we're going to do double tops, solid sides, solid bottom, and done. And then mount and go. The only thing I wish I had a rotary tool. I think I do. I think I might have a rotary tool. I have a jigsaw, so I can use my jigsaw to, cut the hole. It won't be perfect. I wish I had I wish I had a rotary tool just to cut a nice perfect circle, because, man, perfect circles are just something else. I have the fleece for the carpet, but I might go with a different pattern. I don't know yet. Oh, speaking of pattern, you guys want to see the headliner material we're going to be using? No. Classic arcade cloth. There we go. Where was it? We have I found the fabric. Now I gotta be able to find it again. 90s pattern fabric. Yeah, something like, there we go. This right here. This is what I want for my interior. Because my wheels are almost the same exact pattern. So we're going to be doing this for my interior. And then my wheels are going to be almost matching to this. And then we have a whole, we're doing the car, we're painting the car a color to match all of this to make everything flow together. I don't know what the fat quarter is. A fat quarter is 27 by 18. I don't know what that means, but this is what this is the fly, this is the material, the design I really want. There are other ones that I've been looking at that have a very similar pattern like this. Oh, this is dope. I love this pattern too. Again, this is the style that I'm going for inside my Mark IV. 90s, just 90s. I don't know about you guys, but this is like what I want in my interior badly. I love the 90s. I love the early 2000s. And that's kind of like the idea that I'm going for. And then on top of that, I know it's cheesy, but we're going to do it. But the way to do it, though, I have to be cautious. I want to be very simple. And I want to be nothing wild. So definitely some type of underglow lighting. All right, for sure. Because I want my car to be, I don't know if you guys remember the Saved by the Bell. When you woke up, and you want, I'm going to go watch Saved by the Bell. And you're just like, you just had that happy moment. That's kind of the feeling I want when I get in my car. It's like Saved by the Bell. Again, these are kind of the style or the fabrics I want to go with on the Mark IV. There's been a couple other ones that I'd like this guy right here. This one I've seen before, or not this one, but it's not cheap. Well, it's not there. Oh, here it is. There you go. Again, another fabric that I'm really interested in. Very similar to this. I think this is what we're going to be doing. This one or the geometry one. I'm really torn. Very, very torn. Because they're not directional, which is great. You can literally put it in any direction and it'll look great. You don't have to line anything up. Just wrap your headliner, wrap your pillars, and it's just, So a fat quarter is 27 by 18, a meter, 53 by 39. A yard is 54 by 36. I think this is what we have to do. 39, yeah. Oh, Jesus, $32 per meter, though. Oh, that's not bad. Meter's 3 feet. Usually you need, 9 feet? 15 feet is usually about what you need. 9 feet. I forgot how much it needed, but yeah. That's not too bad. It is pricey. Um, yeah, $22 for this one. This is probably what I'm going to be spending my money on next. They have it in black and white. More neon. No, the black. The black is where it's at. That's what I want. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this will actually be a good interior idea? I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Oh, by the way, when I build the box on the back of the box, I'm going to 3D print my logo and I'm going to stick it to the box and we're going to wrap all the material into that. So you're going to see all like embossed my logo and the name PincheAls Garage on the box. It's going to be pretty dope. Got a couple cool ideas for that box. Same for my floor. So the floor is all going to be done that way. I'm going to be using that Fox. I think it's called Black Fox, just leather, suede. It's fake leather, you know, but it's really really manipulative. You can wrap everything really nicely. Heavy glue, and you just grab a little, you know, a little blunt end, and you can just tack everything, and it comes out so good. It comes out really good, and it looks great. I'm gonna 3D print a bunch of little tiny VW emblems. So for the headliner, once we get ready to wrap the headliner, I'm gonna print a bunch of 3D VW emblems and like my skulls all throughout the entire of the headliner, and just glue them in there, and then wrap the entire headliner in that, and then compress everything. It's gonna look pretty neat. Again, I'm trying to do stuff that I wish I would have done a long time ago. Now that I have the time and I can take my time doing all these fun interior pieces, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be titties, man, titties. All right. Any other questions? If not, I'd like to call it a day, and I'm gonna start drawing out my plans for my for my sub box for tomorrow. Is build day. Yay! Tomorrow is going to be building the floor. So we're going to be building the floor. We're going to build the floor tomorrow, build the box tomorrow, and finish it off. I'm going to cut my pencil. There you go. Get my pencil ready. I'm going to draw out my plans. I wish this can do inches. Aha, it does have inches. Cool. I can show you guys this. I'll show you the simple box we're going to design. That didn't work. That's stupid. I gotta do a window. No, that's correct. A display capture. There we go. Here you go. Cool. So we're going to do a simple box. All right. We're going to shrink it down to scale it, because if I go all the way to 40, it's massive. So we're going to go smaller. We're going to make everything a quarter in its size. So if we go 44, we divide that by 4, so we got 22. So we can go 12. So we're going to go scale it. We're going to go 12, but we also got to say 12.5 just to pretend we're doing a 12.5 box. Now, if we're going to cut that in half, that's 6.25 for the middle, but we decided on, what is it? What was our depth? I forgot our depth here. Oh, we lost our depth. I think it was like 17. Cut that in half. Hey, is that Carlene's ride? Ryan Cones? No, it's actually my car. What are you doing on here, Ryan? You never follow me on anything. It's my car, buddy. I'm gonna say you don't follow me on anything. You don't go to my live streams unless you're here to do dad jokes. There you go. No, if you've been watching the YouTube channel, Ryan, you should be noticing I'm working on my white car. I redid the entirety of the interior except for the headliner. We're working on that next. No, no problem, buddy. How's River, by the way? Alonzo's been talking about him, been missing him. All right, so 17, cut that in half. What is that? So we gotta do 4.25 in depth. You know what? We're just gonna go full scale. F this. You know what? So 41 inches. 17 inches. 9 inches tall. So this is my subwoofer box that we're going to be building here. Now we got to put a cylinder. And this guy is going to be 12 inches. Yeah. Now we have to remember, we have to center these to the box itself. Now we have to make sure we add a divider, because we're going to need a divider in the center of this box. So we have to really make sure we hollow out the sub wall thickness is, oh, why are we millimeters? I guess we'll do 10 millimeters because We can't do anything thicker than that. Okay. Next, we gotta duplicate these because we're running two 12s. Now we gotta make sure we're in the center of the box. Really important. No, we're gonna do a sealed box. The subwoofers we're using are solid cone. If you see this right here, you'll notice very, very little travel. See this? They don't move a lot. They're more designed for clarity versus loud. So we can't go really go into a ported box because it kind of defeats the purpose. I'm gonna see if this works. I don't know if this is gonna let me do it, but we'll see. Oh, too high. Too low, I mean. Nope. So you'll see here, this is going to be the box, and then we're going to add another layer of 3/4 inch MDF. So if we did this, we would do it one more time, but this is kind of the idea of the sub box, and it's going to have a divider right here in the middle. We're going to add another little chingadera here. Right in the middle. Nope, wrong scaling. Oh, Ryan, we're going to be in San Diego soon. Just a heads up. About another week or two, we should be in San Diego. So this is kind of the idea of the box. Really, really shallow. I'm not trying to, what do you say? Where is it? Merge, paint. I'm not trying to make it fancy. I just want to make it accurate and sound really good. For how much I'm spending, it's going to be very inexpensive. And because it's simple, it's a simple subwoofer box. It's nothing overly complicated for no reason. You know, don't sub boxes don't have to be fancy. They don't have to be complicated. They just have to be correct. If this was like a Comp R, um, um, your typical Solo Barrack or any other subwoofer out there by like CVX or NVX, CT or Scar even, or Sundown, then you would building 100% a ported box because they are loud. And you want a ported box for loud. SPL, you want decibels, you want loud system. Okay, definitely, Ryan. We'll figure it out. Maybe we meet you guys out for camping. I don't know. We have to figure it out. But that is the purpose of this box is just to be simple. Okay, but I will be putting, you know, a little bit of flair into it. I'll be putting my logo, I mean my brand name right here, PincheAls Garage. And I'm gonna 3D print the VW skull right here. And we're going to glue it to there, and then we're going to wrap everything, all the fleece into it. It's going to look nice. Again, all separate chambers. So each sub has its own volume, has its own cubic foot. Like it's like 1.1 cubic feet per sub, which is more than enough volume for this subwoofer specifically. So it doesn't need to be massive. It just needs to be simple and to the point. So that's one of the things that I really, really wanted to make sure we were accurate on as best we can. It sucks it didn't let me do 3/4 inch for thickness when I hollowed this out. I could have just shrank the box 3/4 inches all around and then delete the center that way. That could have been an option, but this is the sub box that we're going to be doing. It's not too bad. It's going to be nice and simple, like I was saying. 212s. It's going to sound great. The thing I'm going to add to it, so you guys have an idea what I want to do. So I have 9 inches in height to match, right? I'm going to add, where is it? Let's see if this works. Let's see if they'll let me do it. Yeah, it should work. Yeah. Okay, let's move this little triangle over here. Okay, bear with me. Almost there. It's not going to be 100% accurate because it won't let me make it 100% accurate. Again, I'm trying to just make this very, very simple. All right. So right here is going to be my amp display board. We're going to put either both amps, one on the left, one on the right. I really want to put 3 amps because it's going to be uneven because 1 amp is going to be a different brand. I have 2 brands. I have a Kicker KX amp, and then I have a Pioneer monoblock. I forgot what it's called for my sub. So my thought was maybe just do my monoblock. No, because I have to do both. Both of them have to be here because they have to be wired. Let's see. So when we do this, All right, so this is kind of the idea. I don't know if you guys see this, but this is how I want it to look. I'm going to run my distribution blocks, my power, my ground right here. We're going to keep everything super tight. We're going to sleeve all the wiring so you'll see everything super clean. Not worried about vibration issues with the amps. No, because the board will not be attached to the box. Just heads up. We're going to keep like a little space in between them. And the reason for this is so I can pull that out if I have to do any like any wiring issues or anything like that. If I have to do any add more wiring, who knows? But that's kind of the idea, is that it's going to sit here. Now, if I had all 3 amps, it would sit like this. A little higher. It's not going to be perfect because of this dimension. But my thought process is put them left to right. All the wiring down here, left to right. You know, even have this come down somewhere over here, and we can run the wiring up and down. And then what we do is that we'll run, I have a couple ideas to run wiring. They're called fittings. They're like a wire fitting for grommet, so you can like make like a connection, even though there's no actual connection. It's just a wire going through it, and we screw them together. That's a thought that I've had. The other thought is just maybe run the wirings, drill the holes to hide the wiring behind the boards. 3, print a wire organizer with my logo on it. It's a thought. I kind of want to see what I can do with wiring when I get to that point, because there's a lot to really process when you do wiring, because you really want stuff to look super clean, right? And wiring, if you want it visible, it will look super clean. It has to look super clean. If not, it's just gonna look really bad. But this is the thought. Now this is just for the subs and the speakers. Right in front of it, right here, is going to be my air compressor for not my air compressor, my air tank for my bags. So if we insert another cylinder here, like right there, move it this way, rotate it 90. Ah, there's going to be some wire LEDs. Thank you for mentioning that. There will be LEDs. So here's my air tank. It's not going to be that big, but it's going to be pretty big. Probably going to be like around there. Okay. The goal would be to make sure all the amps are actually off the board. Okay, about 1/2 inch. They're going to be kind of floating. I'm going to 3D print some really cool feet, and then kind of scooch them into the corners and like hide the plastic feet underneath them, so it has like a nice hidden like corner. It's gonna look like they're in pockets, and then we'll screw them in, and then the wiring will come out. I have some really cool brackets for wiring. I haven't decided what I'm going to be using yet. And then come out, wire everything. That's if I show wiring. I don't know yet. The way that these amps are mounted, or no, the way that the amps have wiring come out is not as nice as I would like it, so I can show off the wires. So there's that complication. Um, so still thinking about it. But all this stuff that you see right here is only going to fit on my back seat. It's not going to fit in my trunk. I have no back seat. If you guys can see in the picture. Oh, there we go. Not good see, Rob, but you'll see here in this picture right here, or in the video, there's no back seat. The entirety of the back seat is my sound system. That is my idea of what I want to do. That's it. Nope, wife's calling. But that's all I wanted to show you guys before I start cutting. Wife is calling. This is Daddy talking. What's going on, Mommy Talkie?
Are you gonna come in soon?
Yes, I'm actually finishing off on my live stream and my measurements and everything I was going to do.
Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
No problem. No problem, Mr. Cones. I'll definitely hit you up, sir. Again, that's kind of the idea of this project. Simple, clean, functional. I still want space in my car. I still want to use my trunk. I still want to do everything I've been trying to do for a long time, but I am not all about the show car. I'm all about, some show, but simple. I'm going to round all these edges. So, because the inside of these cars are definitely kind of rounded. So we're definitely going to just round the corners, not too much, but we'll give it some shape. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do anything else. That's just going to be a nice, simple setup. All right. If you guys have any questions at all, please comment. If not, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to get to work tomorrow. We got a lot to do. Got a lot of wood cutting. I'm going to be filming that too. By the way, I got to do, what is my measurements? I got to write down my measurement because that's what I want. Here you go. So 41 wide. All right. Oh, no one's commenting. I'm calling it a night. I'm going to finish up everything else I got to do. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace out. Be safe out there. And as always here, PincheAl's Garage, we're going to break, we're going to fix, and we're going to repeat. If you see another dubber on the road, you give him a thumbs up, you give him a deuces. Respect one another. And as always, we love everyone. Thanks for watching PincheAl's Garage Live. I hope to see you guys very soon again. Get ready for the flood doors of content coming in. I finally finished editing. Well, not me, but my good friend has been editing videos for days. I'm not kidding. What I mean, we have a lot of videos. Let me give you guys a kind of a simple breakdown here. Let me see if I can give you a perspective, okay? Just a perspective. Let's see here. We've been busy. We've been super busy, and we want to make sure you guys understand how busy we've been. You guys can see here extra large icons, just so you guys can see. These are all the different channels. And just on PincheAl's Garage, this is all the content we just filmed. And I haven't even finished adding more to the channel. So currently, besides the intro, we're going to subtract the intro from here. We have 18 videos to upload for just this month alone. And that's going to give me enough time to add another 15 to 20 more videos right after that. Every time I work on something and build a piece of content, it's going up on the channel for a DIY. We are going to walk you through the entirety of this build step by step. Nothing's going to be missed. As you guys can see, I've been bugging you guys on a daily just with shorts. Now there's going to be content. And I am excited because I want you guys to enjoy the journey with me. All right? Like I said before, have a wonderful night and be safe out there.